Hello everyone, and welcome to another speculation and discussion video on the future of Planet Zoo. Now, since the previous speculation video about the San Diego / Chester Zoo theme pack did really well, I thought I might as well just upload this older video I recorded before the console edition of Planet Zoo was announced. Now, keep in mind at the time of the recording I wasn't aware of the console edition, but I wanted to share this video anyway, since although I no longer think this pack is as likely as I thought before, I do think that an America's pack is a really interesting and, may I add, also a very popular idea for a DLC. Now let's get into the actual video. Most recently we've received the Eurasian Animal Pack, which I will admit was not something I expected from Frontier, but retrospectively does make a lot of sense for a pack theme. Therefore, a lot of people have been predicting something like an America's pack or a New World pack. I do agree that this is a very likely idea, although I think this idea would work better as an animal pack instead of a scenery pack. But since the next DLC will most likely be a scenery pack, I will be designing this pack as if it were to be something like this. However, a disclaimer, I will not be claiming that the following pack I will be discussing will in fact be the first upcoming pack. I think that if anything, it is more likely we will get a New World Animal Pack somewhere down the line instead of right after the Eurasia Animal Pack. But either options are equally as viable in my humble opinion. But that is if this idea of a pack will become a reality in the first place, since this is a mere speculation and nothing more. Definitely keep that in mind. With that very long disclaimer out of the way, let's get creative with some predictions. Now, if the next pack is America's pack, then it will probably be a scenery pack, right? And if it is a scenery pack, then the only real architecture I can think of is a native North American architecture set. I think it would also be quite cool to have some pirate themed buildings, fitting nicely with the Caribbean theme, which is obviously part of the Americas. I think many of you would appreciate some representation of Native American architecture as well. Either way, more building pieces is always a win for me. Now, for the animal roster, I do think that if we take a little look at the meta wish list, there is a handful of New World species mentioned relatively high up in the rankings. So firstly, I think the big ticket animal would probably be the spectacled bear. People have been going on about this bear species for quite a while, and although we do have a lot of bear species, we virtually have every single bear species except for the two remaining in the Americas. People are fan of bears, and yet another bear won't be received too badly, I think. If not the spectacled bear, then the other remaining bear species from the Americas, the North American black bear, is also a good alternative. The South American coati is currently the number 2 most requested animal on the meta wish list, and therefore definitely deserves a spot on this list. It's a very unique animal, and it represents Southern and Central American wildlife very well. If there is one thing we are missing the most outside of flying birds in this game, it is New World monkeys. We have a lot of primates, even a nice handful of monkeys, but only one single species of New World monkey. If you have ever been to a tropical house in a zoo, you know that they are always sprawling with different species of small New World monkeys. Just having this one capuchin monkey is simply criminal for this game. Therefore, I think it is forgivable to add 2 New World monkeys. In my opinion, they are distinct enough to be included in a singular pack. One being the black howler monkey, which is also in the 5th position on the wish list, and the other monkey being the golden lion tamarin. Very unique and unlike any monkey species we have in the game currently. I think the lion tamarin would actually be loved by many. However, I don't think this would be a selling pack with 1 bear and basically 3 arboreal species. I also think that this pack still doesn't do New World monkeys justice, not only because it would still be lacking in species, but also because the current dynamic climbing system wouldn't possibly capture the intricate and swift movements of the small and beloved tamarins. So I propose to add the tamarins to the walkthrough exhibit instead. This would fix both problems basically. Similar to the sloth, they could be set to sort of have a dynamic looped animation where they can climb from one end of the exhibit to the other in a set path and animation. I think it's an elegant solution, and because of the similarities between tamarin species, it would definitely be possible to add 2, maybe 3 or even 4 different tamarin species in an interspecies walkthrough exhibit, similar to how we have the 5 different butterfly species in the grassland pack. Then for our 4th habitat species, there are many options since the Americas are quite vast. An ocelot would be a nice addition, requested by many, although yet again another arboreal species. For a more larger species, I can definitely see the elk to be a good contestant. Now, as I said, an Americas pack would work better as an animal pack anyway. This would make it easier for me to pick and choose as well. We will simply keep the current roster: the North American black bear, the South American coati, the black howler monkey, the elk, and a handful of tamarins. Now obviously I can also include the ocelot. This leaves spot for 2 more species. I think the bush dog would be a very interesting animal to add to the game. It hasn't really been mentioned all that much by other people, or so I believe. It may not be the most popular pick, but Frontier does love to add some oddballs to their packs that end up being quite loved by many anyway. So maybe the bush dog could be one of such animals. Finally, another and possibly controversial habitat species would be the alligator snapping turtle. Although it being an exhibit animal does make more sense if you actually look at the sheer size of this thing, I think it's definitely forgivable for the alligator snapper to be a full-fledged habitat animal. It would be different than any other habitat animal in the game, the other reason being that I simply cannot let go of the interspecies tamarin walkthrough exhibit idea, and since we can't have 2 exhibit animals in one pack, it's fair to say that the alligator snapping turtle would make a fine habitat animal species. So this is basically my prediction for the Americas pack, or New World Animal Pack, or however you would like to call this. And if you agree or disagree, or if there are other animals that you would rather see in this pack, or maybe you have some other ideas for packs, then definitely just let me know in the comments. I really enjoy reading your comments and reading all your different pack ideas. We love speculating, although, Frontier already has planned what they will be doing, I'm sure, but still it's fun to speculate and to just see what kind of things that we could possibly be seeing in the future in Planet Zoo. But yeah, remember, it's just speculation, it's literally nothing confirmed, it's literally just me coming up with an idea and, inspiring from some other people. It's not just 100% an original idea, I do admit. But yeah, enough yapping. I hope you enjoyed this speculation episode, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.